recording this now. All right. So what I'm gonna do real quick is help you guys set up your trading views. So the first thing that you guys want to do is what I like to do. What's up? Okay. The first thing you guys want to do, right click on your charts, go to settings. You can change your background to whatever color you want. White's a little hard on the eyes for me, so that's why I stick with gray. I used to go with like a darker theme, but it just doesn't. The charts didn't really make too much sense with me. With that, I used to do white as well, but recently it's just been hitting my eyes a lot, so I go with a nice gray. Your vertical grid lines, I get rid of them completely. Too much noise, too much stuff on the chart already. So I want to minimize the noise. So I take this vertical grid line, I make that opacity 0%, so they're invisible. As you guys are hopping on, make sure you mute yourselves. All right, here we go. Your horizontal grid line, same thing. I take the opacity from 100 to 0. Session breaks, what those do are separate out your days. I don't keep them on all the time, but when when I'm back testing something or I'm looking at something, trying to figure out yesterday's low of the day or the high of the day, I'll turn these on and off a lot. So you'll see me, if you see these lines pop up, that's what it is. It's the session breaks. Besides that, we don't really have to touch anything else here. Under symbol, right? So my lines, my candlesticks are the same way John Dollery's are. I saw his chart and kind of liked how he did them, and that's how I did it. I used to have, I believe, blue and then red, right? But blue and black is nice and easy on the eyes for me personally. Now this is where you can mess around with these colors and do whatever feels good for you. So basically I made all this black and just the blue candles are blue. Makes it nice and easy for you to see everything. Some people like to do the white wicks. I personally like the black wicks, makes it easy. So that's what I do with that. Now your timing, you want to make sure your timing is set to your time, right? So that way, when you're marking up the charts, make sure your timing is set up to where you want it to be. I'm in New York, well, in New Jersey, so I have it set to New York time. So if you're in Phoenix, put Phoenix, or whatever surrounding area, is for you. They don't have one specifically for Central Time, looks like. I guess you would do like Caracas or something. I don't know. Anyways, so mine's set to New York time. If that makes it easy for you guys. All right. So the actual tools and the drawing stuff, right? Right over here, you have your trend lines, your horizontal line, your horizontal ray, your vertical line, your cross line, your arrow, your ray, extended channel, all that stuff. The most thing that you're going to use from here is the trend line, the horizontal line, and the horizontal ray. Arrows, the only reason I use arrows is when I'm drawing out, market structure, really more to teach more than anything else. But if it helps you to, mark out the markets as they're moving, to help you see the picture better, that's something you guys could do with arrows. Right, so that's where the arrows are. Your trend lines are right here, right? Trend lines are pretty simple, right? You click once where you want the first part of the line and click again where you want the second part of the line. Neat little trick if you guys don't know. After you click the first point and then you press and hold shift on your keyboard, it will make a straight line. I like to do this because it makes your charts look super clean. Like I wouldn't have to put a horizontal line going across my entire chart. I could just mark out that area that I want. So for example, right here, on the 15-minute, right? You'll see me do this a lot. If I have my double top, triple top area of resistance type thing, I'm gonna put a straight trend line like that, so I can visually see, that high, and then once it breaks those highs, I know exactly what I'm looking for, right? So that's how I mark out my trend lines, super straight. So I have a clean chart. Another thing is your horizontal ray. I use this specifically for looking for my entry candle. So right over here, I'm gonna go back to the 1 hour time frame. You see, once this high got broken on the 1 hour time frame, we see this buy candle before this giant down move, right? So I'll take my horizontal ray. You guys can change the colors with this little thing right here that pops up somewhere on your screen. You could take that. I personally have mine on yellow. That's personally the color that sticks to me when I do limit orders, or if I'm looking for the market to come to a certain area. I like to have it nice and bright so I know exactly where I'm looking at the chart. So I'll mark that horizontal line out, right? So that's where I would have put my limit, or waiting for the market to come up and do a market execution. So that's how I use my horizontal rays. For my horizontal lines, right, I use these more specifically to look in terms of quarter theory and psychological round numbers. So I'll put, this is, I'll explain that as well. The magnet tool, use this when you are looking to get your lines to, basically click with the exact price point of the candles. You see how I'm moving it around and it's like sticking to certain areas on candlesticks? That's what that magnet tool is. So I enable and disable that a lot. I usually just enable it for when I am looking to capture those exact price points. Something in the chat, USD CHF. Not looking at markups right now, Bryant, but I will take a look at it later. So Euro USD, right? That's what I was looking at right there. So this rectangle, right? The other tool that I use a lot in here, oh no, I was going back to horizontal ray, my bad. So horizontal ray, I use to, horizontal line, I use to mark out specific quarter theory points, psychological round numbers. I'm not gonna go into the big detail of numbers on this video. It's more of a tutorial, but 1.11000 is an important psychological number. Just for the purpose of this video, just take my word for it, but you guys can do your own research by watching Go Live Education with John Dollery, Starboy, whoever, right? Anyone who really knows how to trade, they will tell you psychological key, round numbers are key in the market. So 1.11, and I would probably mark out, I usually like to do the 100 pip range. So the 100 pip range is 1.11 and 1.110. So as you guys can see, it's a 100 pip range. I like to do these because visually on a chart, if I see rejection on a higher time frame of these levels, I know where the market could potentially go without even having to find my double tops or triple tops. All right. Got some more stuff in the chat. Stop ignoring my request. I want to hear you snipe like an mouse. Later. This is a TradingView. This is a TradingView tutorial, my friend. So I got my horizontal line. What else do I use a lot? This entire section, the only thing you should be really using from here is your Fibonacci retracement and your Fibonacci time zone. Starboy did a session on Fib time zones a little while ago. If you did not catch that, I would highly recommend you go watch that. I believe that was his last session, actually. So on Thursday's session, he broke that down pretty nicely. But Fibonacci retracements, I'm going to give you guys my my fib settings. So we don't need all of these. I have a lot of them enabled that you do not need. Here, so I'm gonna just do it from scratch because I know what I want off of the top of my head. All right, so you guys could basically disable everything. Hell, if you want, you could click apply defaults, and then I'll show you how to do it step by step. First thing you want to do is disable this background. So if you got rainbow colored fibs, right, the first thing you want to do is disable the background, click use one color, and depending on what color your chart is, you know, do it to whatever you want. I do black at first, right? So the only things we're going to leave from here are the 0, the 618, and the 1. Everything else we can pretty much merc. We don't need that. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We can keep the 50. We can keep the 78.6. We can keep the 1.618. We can merc that. All right. So here, let me just do this real quick. Do. Okay. So this is all that should be enabled if you guys followed along and did the, you know, reset it to defaults and did it like that. So you should have the 0, the 618, the 1, the 50, the 78.6, and the 1.618. All right. So I'm going to enable this right here, and I'm going to put in 0.146. That's a secret fib I use for harmonic. Actually, you know what? We don't even really need that. I'm just going to put 0.71 there. So you should have the 50, the 618, the 78.6, the 0.71, and then you want negative 0.27 and negative 0.618. All right. So these are the major ones that you want. You can also put negative 1.618. But if that gets too much for you, you guys could disable that one. But these are the major ones, and then this one you can turn on and off. All right. 71 to 78.6. That is the golden pocket. So I turn those yellow. If that doesn't stick well with you, do green, do orange, do whatever the hell makes sense, right? Whatever the hell makes sense for you. But the 71, oh, hold on. There's one more that I got to put on here. The 0.886. So this is the final fib settings, which this one and this one you can turn on and off. All right. So the 0.886 as well. So 71 to 78.6 is the golden, you know, the golden pocket. And your 88.6 is your 88.6. You're going to use that as well for like super deep retracements, which don't happen often. So I honestly just leave that like that. And my 50, I make this the 50. I make white. Just to visually see that I'm getting a discounted price. You know, anything, you guys should know this if you've been watching sessions. If not, don't worry about it. Like I said, this is really just a tutorial, but I'm gonna briefly go over that real quick. Anything above the 50, right, is a premium price, and anything below the 50 is a discounted price, right? So anything under 50% off is a discount. Anything above 50% is a premium entry. All right. So this is my Fibonacci settings. Okay. You will see me add on one. You know, the 0.382 sometimes, and the 0.146 sometimes. Those are more specifically for harmonics, but I don't want to get deep into that. This is what you're going to use mostly while sniping. I use harmonics sometimes as my own personal confirmation, but that's not part of sniping, right? So these are the Fibonacci settings that I use. The Fib time zone, Starboy went over this on his session, but I will briefly go over this real quick. You can make these black. These are the settings. Super, super simple. 1.5 and 2. I'm gonna leave 1 on there as well because it makes it visually easier on the chart. Okay. So these are the Fibonacci time zone settings: 0, 1.5, 2, and 1. You guys could do 1. You can put 1 here if you want, if it trips you up. All right. So those are the Fib time zone settings. If you guys do the triangle training with Chris Terry in the academy, right, he also uses the 0.7 to see when a potential breakout can happen. So I will leave that right there, but I won't leave it on. That's something you can use as well. All right. Other stuff. What else do I use? Okay, rectangles. I'm not going to go over this. This is simple. You click and drag. You're going to make a rectangle. All right. Circles. This is hard for some people. You click, and then you extend. That makes your circle. I use that to highlight structure points. So you would see me mark that out. You'd see me mark this low out. All right, this low broke the low. All right, we're shifting trend. Not yet. We still got a FU candle. And then we got trend going, right? So I use the circle tool to mark out highs and lows, significant highs and lows. Not just every high and low. That would be dumb. How did you get to the screen to adjust the settings on the Fib? Okay, so Fibonacci, click, drag. You see this little toolbar that popped up? You could click here on settings, and then you can adjust the settings. Take a screenshot if you want, real quick, guys. 5, 4. All right, I give it 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is recorded, so you guys can watch the recording. So that's way number 1. You can get to the settings, or after you click and drag the Fib out, you can double click on it and it will pop up. So that's how you adjust the settings. That's how you adjust the settings on anything, right? If I wanted to adjust the settings on this line, I double click on it. I can change the price. I can add text to it, whatever, right? Same thing. You can make it thicker. You can make it super thick, whatever, right? You can make it dashed. Some people like to do that. You can change the settings, whatever, right? Same thing. Another thing you guys will see me use is text box. Obviously, I use that more for a teaching perspective or leaving myself notes on the chart rather than anything, specific to do with actual trading. But that's that. And this one's very important. Your long position tool and your short position tool, right? So your long position tool you're going to use for buys, and your short position tool you're going to use for sells. Make sure you have the right one clicked. Then you click where you want to enter the market, right? Put this above where you want to put your stop loss. This is where you adjust the colors and the letters, everything right here, right? So my border color, I have black. My stop loss color, I have red. Some people do purple. Some people do yellow. whatever makes sense. Like I said, red makes sense to me. Blue is the color I have for my profit. So again, you want to do green, you want to do white, whatever, right? So I personally have blue. I don't know which blue it was. Now I'm mad. All right, found it. And then obviously my text color is white. So that's what I do with the risk to reward short tool, right? So basically you can move this thing around, but what you want to do is put your entry price in. So the entry price was 853. My take profit level, I usually just drag it to there. So where am I going to look to take profits if I short here? Imbalance candle, right? So somewhere in there. Somewhere in there on that imbalance candle is where I'd be looking to take profit. Let's just say we took it to this low right here. Oh, the market's just opened up. Cool. That's nice. So that's TP. All right. And then your stop loss, same thing. You can adjust it. You can mark out that high. And then if you want to be very specific about it, you can change it exactly to that level, which is where that line was almost at. So you guys can see in terms of risk to reward, what am I doing, right? A 1 to 6 means you're going to make 6 times whatever you risk, right? If it was a 1 to 3, 1 to 3, this is another time you want to might get rid of that magnet tool. 1 to 3, right? 1 to 3, you're going to make 3 times whatever you risk. 1 to 4, 4 times whatever you risk. You guys get the gist of it. What else? Again, like I'll use these logos right here, like the Trade House does. Really just more of a trade, teaching thing to explain that there's money sitting over these highs, right? But again, not something that you have to mark out specifically. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Any other questions on TradingView, I will answer them. I'll stay in the chat for about 2 to 3 more minutes. But that's the gist of everything you need to use with TradingView. It's not hard. Mess around with it. That's the best way to learn. I pretty much messed around with all of this stuff. Right, as you can see, I have settings on the pitchfork. I got settings on a fib channel. Right, I got settings on that, but I don't use that shit anymore. Okay, Bryant, you still on this call, bro? No, he not. All right, cool. I'll look at USDCHF now, and he'll be mad. Okay. So we can see this area took out that previous high, and then we dropped, right? So we are in this retracement region. So yeah, it does look pretty valid for this thing to drop. I know he's been talking about this sell forever. As you can see, bouncing pretty cleanly off of that 88.6 region. And we're taking out these highs. As long as we don't take out this wick right here, we should be still valid for the sells. I'm not going to enter anything right now, since the market is just opened, but it will be something to look at when the timing is correct. So I will put this on the radar for when we do our markup session later tonight. And yeah, all right. With that being said, I appreciate each and every single one of you that hopped on. I don't know how long this recording was, but everyone who's watching the recording, appreciate you as well. If this helped you, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment on the YouTube, whatever. All right. With that being said, appreciate y'all. Peace.